Okay, so I'm going to go over my visualization. This is with my map that I showed you a little earlier. Obviously, like I said, it's not quite done yet, but this is my HTML file, and I obviously told it to make it HTML. My doc type is HTML. And so in here, obviously, I just showed you state of is project HTML. There's my defining the type. And then I go in and obviously tell it it's HTML and put in my header the link to Leaflet style sheet. And I actually downloaded that from Leaflet's website. So I just, it explains to you to put that in your head. So I put that in there. So that runs the Leaflet program on our HTML and our JavaScript. So then I go ahead and close the head and I open the body and I, put in my heading. And then I go down and open a div and I ID that map, and so that way it will recognize that term. So then I take the ID and I give it some style. I make the width, make the height, make the padding, all of that good stuff. Then I close the style tabs. Now, this is going to give us the script types, and I'm telling it that it's a JavaScript type, and I give it once again the Leaflet program to run. Then I also give it another script type of JavaScript and tell it that the tile layer for GeoJSON is in JavaScript, and so I link that to my other source, my other coding, and so that way it can communicate back and forth. So just like you would do with our HTML and CSS, just like that, it's the same thing. So that's what I did right there, is just linked these two together. And the order is important. These links and the link above, it does matter where you put those in your HTML coding, or else it won't work, which I found out in doing this project. So down here, I am setting this map. It's a variable, and so that is actually GeoJSON coding, but I'm setting the view here. So these numbers are actually the longitude and latitude, and so I messed around with those to get the right area I want the map to show when I open it. And so then that 5 is actually the set view, so like that's the zoom amount. So you can change that, and that will actually change how far your map is zoomed in. So go ahead and close that script, and then I have a tile layer, which, like I said earlier, is that this tool doesn't have maps provided. So I went online and found a map I liked, got an access code. There's my access code. It's pretty long, and included that. And this particular map, I chose the way it looked, and it's called Mapbox Light. As you look at it, it has some gray, it has some white, it's like lighter colors, and I decided that's what I wanted my map to look like, so that's where I got that. So then down here, the add to map adds that tile layer to the map, but the rest of these instructions go with our GeoJSON file of JavaScript, and I'll explain a little bit more about those in a little bit, but the first one adds our countries to the map, so that's the outline. So you'll see in a minute, Albania is outlined, and that's what that does. So then the next line that says GeoJSON country style add to map adds like the coloring and the styling that I outlined. And the one below it does the same, but it tells it on each feature. When you roll over it, when you hover on it, it changes and it zooms in and all that kind of stuff. So I add that to map, then close my tags, obviously. So now I'm going to show you my tile layer at GeoJSON, and it's a JavaScript file. So first of all, I have a variable that is called countries, and I go ahead and define the type, and it has features. So I'm defining the feature, and this feature has properties. Its name is Albania, and the literacy is 99. And so my project is all about literacy rates in different countries. And so if you notice, 99 is a string, a number, not a string like the rest of these. So also, if you look at the brackets and such, that's the syntax of JavaScript, specifically in Leaflet and GeoJSON. So then I tell it its type is a polygon, so it's going to outline this polygon, which is Albania, which is a nation. So then I give it coordinates, latitude and longitude coordinates, and go ahead and close the brackets. So all of that outlines my nations, or my countries. So after that, I have a function that says to get color for literacy. So literacy greater than 98, make it this color. So there it is, literacy for Albania is greater than 98, so it's going to be this color that I said. Then greater than 95 would be this color, and the rest would be that color. Obviously, I can't get my other countries to work yet, but to show you that those colors work, but they're already programmed in. So next, we have a function to style our feature, and that gives the color and the outline and such things like that. So that's what that does. After that is the function that highlights it. So when you hover over it and it gets all highlighted, that's what that does. And right here beneath it is just telling it how it's going to look when it's highlighted. So that's all of that right there. After that, then it's just telling it to bring it to the front, that, the area. And then we go on to a function that resets the highlight when you move your mouse away from the actual country. So this next function says zoom to feature, so that's when you click on it and it, gets closer on that. And then the function on each feature. Oh, all of this is actually, I pulled all of that from Leaflet's website. But this one on each feature, it just talks about the mouse over, the mouse out, and the click. So that's all I just explained to you. Yeah. So we are going to go in here into the HTML, and you see I'm going to show you what it looks like right now, which is what I have so far. Actually, I'm going to pull this into a new tab, make it look a little cleaner. Okay, so this is what I have right now. You can hover over it, highlights, like I said, mouse on, mouse off, and if you click on it, it's going to zoom in on Albania. Okay, so perfect. All right, so now I'm going to show you how we can kind of change this. So if we go in here under map styles, we can make this a different number. Let's make it huge so you can see the difference. And change the height, make it a little bigger, maybe 800, I think. Let's try that. I'm not going to change the padding because you obviously know what that does. So let's go ahead and see what that does for us. Okay, there we go. It's actually, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to zoom in. Let me try this again. Okay, trying to zoom in. Okay, but you see, this is showing the whole map because it's so huge. So even though it's zoomed the same amount, like it's the same size, it's showing the whole map because I made it huge. So let's go back and change that back to what it was, just so we can see what I'm doing with this. So next what I'm going to do is take out this, which is the tile layer for the GeoJSON. So that's going to give me the same map, but it's not going to outline my country or do any of that because I'm not connected to my other file that does that. Next, I'm going to try to take out this. I don't think it's actually going to do anything just because I have it at the top there, but it might. We'll see. Oh, duh. Excuse me. Sorry. This is the one, if you take that out, then it won't show anything. It's not going to show you your map because that's taking out Leaflet's program. Okay. Next is I'm going to change the view, the latitude and longitude on this. And so you're going to see that we are not going to be in the same place when we open this. Yeah, so this is not where we were before. We're in the Greenland Sea, so I do not think that's even close. But you can see changing that obviously changes where my map is centered when I open it. Here is the zoom, so I'm going to change it to 2, and let's see how that looks. Oh wow, so you see it's very zoomed out. Obviously the lower the number it's zoomed out, the higher the number, the more zoomed in it is, but I decided 5 was fitting. Okay, so here, I'm going to leave that because that actually makes our map, like the background of it, so I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah, it's not a big deal that, to take that out right now. Let's see, I'm actually going to take out this. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I'm just going to close some of these. We're getting so many open. Okay, that's fine. This I'm going to take out, and this is going to change this for us a little bit. You'll see what it is doing. I think that line that I just took out actually applies to making the next line work, so that's why didn't do anything yet. Yeah, so see, this one took away our hover, took away the highlight when you go back and forth, so that's gone now. So we have to have this. So now I'm going to go into my JavaScript file and show you a few things I can change in there that are going to change all of this. So if I change the coordinates on my polygon, this is going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to show you this. It's going to be kind of crazy, but this is why it's important to have the right coordinates. See, so this is way up there. So I actually got the coordinates for Albania online. I didn't know those. But you have to make sure they're right so it outlines it correctly. So that can be changed. That makes a huge difference. So here, I'm not going to change the colors for you, but you understand how that can happen. I'm not going to change all of these colors and weights and such, but you understand how if I would take any of this out or change it, it'll change just like I've kind of shown you already. So here's my project, and hopefully that kind of gives you a better understanding. I'm going to open up my original and remind you what it looks like, but hopefully you understand the way this program works. This tool works a little better now. So we can hover, we can highlight, we can zoom in and out.